the president of stimulus checks with $1,800 in total. I have all the details for you here in the video. Let's get into it and discuss what's going on. All right, now first off, I do want to address some comments and questions I've seen down below in the comment section, as well as push back against some of the headlines that I've seen out there as well. Now here's the thing. I completely recognize that maybe the information that I'm going to talk about here in this video may be a little bit controversial. However, I hope that you can watch this video and just listen to the content and take it for what it is, because what I'm talking about here in this video is fact, 100% fact. If you don't believe any of it, feel free to look it up or just simply think back a couple years ago. It's not that hard to remember. It was just literally a few years ago, and we all have this information. But I want to talk about the new administration because I've seen comments, not a ton. I've seen some questions and remarks down below in the comment section. Again, not a ton, but I've also seen headlines out there as well saying things like this. And again, I want to push back against it a little bit. But we're thinking about the new administration right now, obviously the new administration in place. But when we look back to Trump 1.0 from many years ago, we look at that administration. Here's the thing. His first administration, Trump 1.0, sent out a total of $1,800 worth of stimulus checks. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people think that Biden sent all those checks out. False. That's not the case. In fact, Biden sent out one check in the amount of $1,400. He also did send out the advanced child tax credit payments for about 38 to 39 million households with an average of $422 per month. So, to be fair, yes, he did do that as well. However, under the Trump 1.0 administration, first round many years ago, or it's actually not even that many years ago, but he did send out $1,800. In fact, $1,200 in April of 2020, and then again another $600 at the end of December 2020 or early January 2020 as well, kind of dependent on when it went out. But some people got it at the end of the year, some people got it at the beginning of the year. A total of $1,800. Now here we are again. Trump 2.0, okay? Now, here's the thing that I've been seeing. Now, again, a few times down below in the comment section, not a ton, but I've also seen it in the headlines out there as well, saying, we're not going to get anything from this new administration. I would say, let's just think back. It's not that hard to figure out. Let's look back in history and see. Remember, history generally repeats itself, right? Again, not every single time, but I'm just simply saying, it does repeat itself. If we look back just a few years ago, again, and the remarks that I've seen is, we'll never get anything out of this administration or this party or whatever, okay? And again, I'm not here to take sides with one party or the other, one person or the other. All I'm saying is let's just look at the facts. That's all it is. Let's look at the facts of what actually happened and what we can maybe expect going forward. Again, who knows what's going to happen? I don't. If you know, let me know. We can talk about it. But here's the thing. Okay. Now, remember, under Trump 1.0, we got 2 stimulus checks in the amount of $1,800. Under Biden, we got $1,400 one time, plus if you were a person that had a dependent and you took advantage of the child tax credit payment, then you also got those advanced checks for the second half of 2021, again in an average of $422 per household per month for about 6 months, plus a lump sum payment then went out in the beginning of January, or I should say the beginning of 2022, when people filed their tax returns, okay? That was definitely not for everybody, but that was also available, okay? Now, here's the thing. I certainly would not say that any administration, again, does not matter the party. I don't want to say it literally does not matter the party whatsoever. It's all economically based. And you've probably heard me say that before in other videos. I'm guessing at this point you've probably heard me say that. But that's really what it comes down to. It's all economically based every single time. Is the need for stimulus has nothing to do with the party in power. Okay, I know that sounds super weird, but that's the reality. It's all about the economy. And here's the thing. Regardless of party, when money is needed for the economy, they step up and do it. Again, it does not matter. I mean, here's the thing. We've seen stimulus under so many different administrations, and it doesn't really matter the party that's affiliated with it. They all do the same thing because they see the same need for the overall economy. And what stimulates an economy? Well, money does. I mean, that's literally what it's all about, right? An economy eventually, or basically essentially revolves around money and productivity. That's basically what an economy is, right? How much productivity, how much production can you get out of an economy, and how much money does that produce? And what does that translate into as far as like real goods and services that are provided and or produced, right? Literally what it comes down to. So that is what it comes down to going forward for 2025. And realistically, the next several years here is what happens economically, and what do we really need to focus on is That's what it is, right? So anyway, if you've been, seeing anything like this, or, if you've been feeling discouraged, like, oh my, we're never going to see anything again. Well, okay, just to be 100% fair, have we seen anything for the last several years since 2021? The answer is no. Nada, nothing, zero. They've done nothing. So my point is, it's getting about to be that time, right? So that's just what I wanted to point out for you really quickly, and just kind of share with you that I certainly wouldn't give up on this whole idea at all. But again, remember, if we watch all the economic factors and all the economic data that's coming out, it's not looking all that great. It has not been looking great for a very long time. Now, here's the thing. We have kind of like this bifurcation in all of the economic data. Some data points that come out look really, really good. I totally understand. They look great, make it look like the economy is very strong and robust. But then when we look at other data points, it's like, that's not very good. These are the worst numbers that we've seen since, a massive recession, or back in the dot-com bubble, or all these different factors like this. So it's kind of this weird situation where we're seeing, some really good and some really bad. So it kind of all depends, but it's really economically based. Now, here's the thing as well. We also recognize that they have the ability, and they are currently working on a reconciliation bill. This is fact as well. We know that we're going to get it. Sometime this year, we will be getting a reconciliation bill, possibly even two of them, maybe, based on what they're talking about, okay? Maybe one big, beautiful package. I'm sure you've seen that out there. Or maybe it is just two, that they break it down into two. I don't know. Nobody knows yet, but that's just what they're talking about, okay? But either way, as of right now, we know that they're going to get a reconciliation bill done at some point. Here's the thing. The last $1,400 stimulus check that we got under the Biden administration, literally months after he came in, was a reconciliation bill. It was called the American Rescue Plan. Feel free to look it up if you don't believe me. It was $1.9 trillion. It was passed on March 17th of 2021, and we got stimulus checks out of that, $1,400, reconciliation bill. What's my point? My point is, they can add virtually anything they want into a reconciliation bill. There are some parameters around it that cannot be added, but for the most part, they can do just about anything they want within reason. They cannot reform Social Security. So for those of you that are wondering and asking, hey, are they going to do something about benefit? Nope, can't touch Social Security with a reconciliation bill, but they can add stimulus checks. They can add advanced child tax credit payments. They can add all kinds of stuff to it. It's like a wild card. They can do whatever they want for the most part with it. It's a gravy train when you look at it that way, right? And it's going to be trillions of dollars. We already know this. So here's the thing. I certainly would not give up hope on this whole thing. But at the same time, we kind of need to tread cautiously. What's this year going to bring? I don't know. I wish I knew right now, but I don't. But if we look into kind of the indicators, some of the economic data points that are coming out, and if we look back at history to see where do we currently stand, what have we seen, in these types of situations before, we can get a little bit of an insight into, hey, we may expect to see this, that, or the other thing this year or going forward. Kind of makes sense? A little bit? Anyway, this is what I wanted to share with you really quickly. So if we put it into perspective, yep, we've already seen $1,800 distributed out of, this individual, as in Trump, right? So I'm just saying, he's definitely not opposed to it, right? But it's all economically based. Again, if the economy's strong based on the economic data and we're not in a contraction, we're not in a recession, are we going to get stimulus at that point? My answer is no, definitely not. We're not going to. But if that flips and we see an economic contraction and economic recession, then could we possibly get stimulus? Absolutely, definitely, 100%, because that is what revitalizes and reinflates the bubble when we get into a contraction. So that's what they do. Literally the same thing every single time. It's the same play out of the same playbook all the time. Print money, push it out in the form of stimulus. Literally what happens. So anyway, hope this helps you a little bit. I just want to break this down for you and kind of address those comments, questions, concerns, and again, those headlines that I've seen out there and that are basically just giving up on this. I wouldn't do that. Again, I don't really care what's going on. All I want to know is, what are you going to do for us? Okay, that's all I ever want to know. And I think that's what everybody wants to know is, what are you going to do for us, right? That's the big question everybody wants to know. What is in it for us, right? So anyway, I'll keep you posted on everything going on out there, including the big old reconciliation bill and everything else out there. So again, if I can ask one huge favor of you, please make sure to subscribe to the channel. Totally free to do so. There's a big subscribe button right down below. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, thank you. Truly, truly appreciate your support. Thank you so much for being here. Also, if you can think of one or two people that benefit from this video or benefit from knowing me and or this channel and the videos that I have here, the 5,000 plus in a video library, please, if I can ask a huge favor of you, share the video. There's a share button right down below. It's 100% free to do so. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that as well. Otherwise, check out the well over 5,000 videos here on the channel in the video library. The popular videos I've hand selected for you down below in the description or the top of the comment section. And right now showing up on your screen as well. You'll see some videos there. Thank you so much. I hope to see you again soon in the next video. Check out one of those that is recommended. Otherwise, just have a nice day. Stay safe out there.